This is Colony-Crest Lancer Football on Varsity Sports Live. Lancer Football is brought to you by Ecan Crude, Goppert State Service Bank, and the Crest Lancer Booster Club. It's time for Lancer Football on Varsity Sports Live. And good Friday evening, football fans. Welcome to the weekend and welcome to the sectional round of the Class 8-man Division II playoffs. BJ Harris along with you, alongside me, Caden Carbajo, as we settle in for some 8-man football here from Hanover, Kansas, the side of this one between the Crest Lancers and the Hanover Wildcats. A pair of unbeaten teams going to battle for a chance to go to the playoffs and go to the sub-state, rather. Crest Lancers have enjoyed a very good turnaround under their second-year head coach, Nick McNulty. 0-9 in 2018. They went 6-4 last year, right now sitting at 10-0, and right on the cusp of having to beat the best to be the best. Hanover, a perennial powerhouse, and we'll see if they can get that and take the next step in this incredible turnaround that's happening in Crest and Colony-Crest for the Lancers. This year's Lancers, several players that are big-time contributors, including Jaquez Coleman rushing for over 1,000 yards, 1,158 yards, 17 touchdowns on the air on 83 carries. That's 14.3 yards per carry. Pretty impressive for Coleman. Also passed for 468 yards and 11 scores. He'll lean on Holden Barker in the running game, 762 yards rushing and 19 scores coming to this one. Stratton McGee will contribute a bunch. Caleb Nolan will contribute a bunch. And they will have a lot of guys contributing to try to overcome Hanover, a team tonight in the Wildcats that have only allowed 56 points on the season in 8 games. It'll sound like only one man's doing it, but there's a bunch of them. They just all happen to have the same last name. Colin Juneman will be one of the leaders on this team from the running back spot. The quarterback is Jacob Juneman. One of the top receivers on this team is also a Juneman, and so you're going to hear that name a bunch tonight for Hanover. For Colony, they seem to spread it around a little bit more, spread the love, but it will be a uphill battle, but one they can do. A long road trip as well all the way up here. And hopefully that doesn't have an impact on this ball game. Interesting setting up here in Hanover. It is true small town football, and we are excited to be able to bring it to you here on Varsity Sports Live. Of course, special thanks to our sponsors who have made tonight's broadcast possible for y'all. And they include Goppert State Bank, Ecan Crude, and the Crest Lancer Booster Club. We really appreciate them helping out to be able to bring this broadcast to you from Hanover here tonight. We'll take our first break. We come back. We'll hear from the head coach of the Lancers, Nick McNulty, when we return here on the Varsity Sports Live pregame show. You're watching Lancer Football.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
Too tight-headed! Yeah!
You wouldn't do it there.
Hey! Oh!
So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Live pregame show. BJ Harris along with you as we get set for this Class 8-man Division II sectional championship between the Colony-Crest Lancers and the Hanover Wildcats. Getting ready to talk to the head football coach of the Colony-Crest Lancers, Nick McNulty. And Coach, first of all, we want to go back to last week and talk about your guys' win, your ability to advance to this next round, a pretty lopsided victory over Hartford. Obviously get out to a good start as you went back and kind of looked at that ball game. What was the key to getting a good start and getting the win to advance to this next round?
I think the key to our ball game was, I think we had scored first. They got the ball first. We got a stop. We scored. Then they came down and answered. And then we scored again, but then they got the ball, got a deep pass that got them down to less than 1 yard, and we got a 4-play stop from there. That was kind of the key to our game. That really changed the momentum and flow of how that game was going when our defense, line, and everybody just kind of buckled down and got that stop, because they were a big group of kids. Their line up front was big. I told the boys after that was that was the key series of the game that showed our heart and toughness and where we were at the team.
I got to believe that heart and toughness and that mentality is pretty crucial. We were talking before the interview about, some of the exposure you guys are getting because of the big turnaround, undefeated right now after just a couple of years ago, not winning a game all season. This group of kids obviously got to be a big part of that.
Yeah, they do. The senior group that we got here, a lot of them got started as sophomores and was a part of that 2009 season. So they kind of know the other side of it. They know what it feels like and the hard work it takes to get where they're at. And they don't, they just didn't want to go back to that. They didn't want to repeat that. And they showed up. They just worked and grinded. They didn't complain about anything we did. They just did it. Because they wanted to be successful. They wanted it really bad.
Obviously, 10-0 is a pretty good season already. A big part of that, you're playing your conference, the Three Rivers League, and the 8-man side of things. Do you feel like you've been, looking at these scores and stuff, obviously pretty lopsided, most of those wins. Do you find some places within that schedule where you've been able to improve and get tested a little bit to kind of know where you're at?
Absolutely. The Waverly game, that was our first full game, and it kind of showed where we were at conditioning-wise. And then 2 weeks ago when we played, Wakefield, they came out and they kind of hit us in the mouth and scored after 2 or 3 plays, took the lead on us, and we was able to grind it back, but it was still a ball game. I mean, we ended up winning by 30, I think, or something like that, but it took a little bit to get going. So I think it tested us. And then last year, a lot of these kids are the same kids. And, we had a lot tougher games last year, kind of grinded it out most of the season, full-length games. So it's something that they've been through in the past, and I think they kind of understand. The Wakefield game was a wake-up for us, and I think that was kind of the answer to it last week against Hartford. They've seen that we have to show up ready to play because it's only going to get tougher. All
right, let's talk about some of the X's and O's as far as you guys are concerned offensively. What can we expect to see? Who are some of those key players going to kind of help you guys propel forward?
Jaquez Coleman, he's on a quarterback catalyst. He's our leading rusher this year. He's got just over 1,100 yards. He's averaging 14 yards a carry, and then he's thrown the ball for almost another 500. He's been really key for us offensively. His just growth from last year to this year has just been huge. And he's just worked his tail off, improved, gotten bigger, faster, stronger. Kind of where our offense goes through. And then we have several other guys. Holden Barker, he's our second leading rusher, sophomore fullback. Then we have Strat McGee and Caleb Nolan that trade places. They both are our running back out of our kind of jet package.
And on the other side of things, the defensive side of the ball, who are some key players there that you're going to need to kind of keep Hanover down?
A lot of those guys are the same guys. That Stratton's he's our leading tackler defensively, and then Hold second, and Andrew McAdam up front has been huge for us defensively. We have a big rotation that we use defensive line-wise. We have several sophomores that get in there play. Cody Nolan and David Bloffett are part of that defensive line that really rotate and have been a huge part of our success defensively.
All right, to the task at hand, Hanover, they were at perennial power at this classification and has put out some dudes over the last few years for sure. As you kind of get prepared for them, what's a couple of those keys that you're looking at that you need to do to be successful tonight?
Keys is we just have to limit the big plays. Make them take another snap. They're a big play offense, long passes and big runs. They run a lot of sweeps, stuff like that. So we just have to contain and limit the big plays, can't get beat, stuff like that.
Obviously, it's got to be some excitement around the school district. The turnaround we've already talked about, being 10-0. I was pretty fortunate in high school to be a part of a team that was successful in a small community of Girard and got to see what it was like when a community gets fired up. Obviously, we're here, so new things, broadcasting these games. But what's it like for your boys, and what's the moment like right now for your school to be on the cusp of this big game?
It's been a lot of fun. Everybody, doesn't matter where you're at, tells you, hey, good luck, good game last Friday. The boys have even said that some of them went to church and they've had, people that they've never even really talked to come up and ask them how the game went and how things going, and ask them, like, do you watch football? And they're like, no, we've not watched football in the past, but we're watching you guys. So it's been a lot of excitement for these guys to kind of see that and be a part of that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's the stuff you'll remember for sure when they're older dudes like us. So we look forward to it, Coach. We appreciate your time, and good luck tonight against Hanover.
All right. Thank you.
Head football coach of the Crest Lancers joining us here on the Varsity Sports Live pregame show. We'll take a quick break. Kickoff's right around the corner from Hanover. You're listening to it and watching it on Varsity Sports Live.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. One hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burnt.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
I don't really better.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back out here live to Hanover High School, the side of this 8-man Division II sectional championship game between the Crest Lancers and the Hanover Wildcats. Just a moment away from kickoff here in this one. Again, we've heard a ton of people. I talked to a lot of people about this ball game and what to expect. Storyline is always Hanover is a perennial power. They're a team that's always here. They are used to having success for sure, and they're a big play offense is what we hear a lot about as well. So their ability to make big plays, get down the field, stretch the field, and all that. So we're looking forward to this ball game. How does Colony stack up? The Southeast Kansas schools and 8-man have had a tradition here over the last 10 years or so of kind of getting to this spot and how much further. Obviously, St. Paul's busted through a few times, played for a state championship a few years ago. Also, Eagles had some success, and they've been up and down, just like Lancers have been up and down. And coming off 2 years ago, not winning a game, and now having not lost a game, how do they react here if a little bit of adversity comes their way? And you heard Coach talk about that just a little bit in our pregame. So opening kickoff, kicking from right to left is Hanover, as Colin Juneman going to tee it up and kick it down deep for the return. It'll be kicked in through the end zone. Back to return for Crest is Caleb Nolan, but it will go out of there, and they will spot the ball for play at the 15-yard line. Full disclosure for me, I've spent the last 20 years broadcasting high school football, and I'm every Friday night been held up an 11-man game, have not had the opportunity to broadcast an 8-man. So if I make some kind of flub or if I say the 50, I will say it. I'm just laying the groundwork for you. Be gracious, if you would. But we'll do our best, certainly, to put the best light forward here for the Crest Lancers. They will get going, end around, fake it. Now quarterback keep, and he is buried on the hold, on the carry. And a little bit of motion in the backfield trying to get him going. Jaquez Coleman, again, we mentioned Coleman, 35 of 55 through the air. It's a pretty good percentage, 468 yards, 11 scores, 83 carries, over 1,000 yards and 17 touchdowns as well. Loss of 1 on the play. And it will bring up second down and 11. Send another man in motion. Was Nolan. Now they'll go that way. Ball's loose. Can't make mistakes. We'll wait and see how they sort it out, and they give it to Hanover. Well, if you're on the road, you make that long trip early on, it's kind of a war of attrition. Like, can you just overcome that kind of early nerves, that early pressure, maybe not being as fresh as you would have been if you didn't have a 4-hour bus drive, 4-hour-plus bus drive, but you cannot afford to give a mistake and a short field. And a fumble on the second play from scrimmage will give Hanover a very short field as they'll take over, first down and 10. Inside the 15-yard line at about the 13. Wide receiver far side, one to the near side. One man in the backfield with Jacob Juneman. Colin Juneman, the wide out to the far side. Jacob will keep it. Now he'll pitch it. 1 foot in the ground, and then a stop there on the far side. Good tackle made by number 5, Stratton McGee, the leading tackler on this team. And it will bring up a 2nd down and 5 now for Hanover. On the little pitch by Daimler. And 2nd down and 5 now for the Wildcats. Juneman will settle, toss sweep near side. He wants the other Juneman, and that is Colin. And he'll get a ton of carries. Colin Juneman on the season. 32 carries for 477 yards. That's a pretty good average. 10 touchdowns as well. He's also catches over 300 yards receiving. And now it'll be 1st down and goal.
Coleman with the tackle for the Lancers.
And it will bring up a 1st down and goal from about the 1-yard line. Jacob Juneman under center. Long snap count, taking his time now, turn, handoff. Colin Juneman easily into the end zone, no problems there. And an early 6-0 lead on 3 plays.
13-yard scoring drive.
And
Leading 6-0.
it will
2-point conversion.
be the 2-point conversion forthcoming here for Hanover. And they will run the 2-point conversion and be good. So with 10:02 to play here in this opening quarter, the Wildcats take advantage of a Crest turnover. 3 plays later, punch it in. 8-0 your score, 10:02 to play. We're back at 30 seconds. You're watching Crest football on Varsity Sports Live.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back at our Hanover, Kansas. Hanover takes advantage of a fumble on the 2nd play by the Lancers and punch it in 3 plays later. 8-0 your score, 10:02 to play here in this opening quarter of play. Well, if you're a Crest right now, you need to make some success happen, have some positive things happen early on. Again, you just kind of got to shake those nerves away a little bit, get out of your own head. Easier said than done. You know, high school age boys, you have those nerves. You just don't. Nerves are good. That's the thing, too. A lot of people don't maybe appreciate. I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and we talk about that from time to time. Like, you got to positively use those nerves. They're natural occurrence. You're going to have them, but you've got to be able to use those for good. And I think on that last drive, we maybe saw the negative side of them. Can you bounce back? That's the line right here. Can Crest bounce back after that turnover? Again, Hanover, a very good football team, but you cannot give them a short field. Coleman in at quarterback, running back just to his right, sends a man in motion, hands it to him, trying to find a little bit of a hole and off the tackle and made a pretty good player for the Wildcats is Blake Heineck. No gain on the carry by McGee.
Blake Heineck with the stop for the Wildcats.
And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 here for Crest. Coleman going to keep it himself, try to get outside. He is buried back on a good play defensively for Hanover by Jacob Clipp. He got through there in a hurry. A loss of 3 on the play to bring up a 3rd and 13.
3rd down and long for Crest.
Stat line not real good right now for Crest as they've gone backwards more than they've gone forward. See what they do probably in a passing situation here. Got to give Coleman some time. They'll go ahead and run it to McGee, try to get the edge. Not much doing there. And it will bring up a 4th down in a punting situation here for Crest perhaps. Deep inside their own territory, we'll see what they decide to do. No gain on the play to bring up that 4th down.
McGee is met right at the line of scrimmage. Minimal gain. 4th down.
So 4th down and 13. And back to receive for the Wildcats is Emmett Juneman. A little rollout punt, gets it away just barely. And a good punt. Kind of got Juneman a little bit off his plan. It breaks a couple of tackles. And still on his feet, and then finally tripped up. Boy, McGee finally gets in there to make the play, but not for a lot of trepidation on the part of the Lancers. It looked like it was a really good punt, but it ends up being a pretty good return and all the way up beyond the 35-yard line, up to about the 34, 33-yard is where they'll mark this one.
At the 33-yard line.
McGee with the touchdown saving tackle for the Lancers.
8:06 to play here in this opening quarter. Hanover scored on their first drive. They had a short field. They had it inside the 15 on their first drive after a fumble by Crest, and now the Lancers try to hold them out a little further. 2 wide receivers far side. Juneman with a running back to his right. Straight drop, looks, plenty of time now flushed. Coming to the near side and knocked down prior to getting much going. Good tackle there. Kind of that spy spot for Holden Barker. Second leading tackler with 83 tackles on the season, coming into this with gain of 4 to bring up a 2nd down and 6.
2nd down.
Barker on the stop for the Lancers.
So he wanted to pass there. Good coverage downfield by the Lancers to force him to run. And it brings up that 2nd down and 6. 2 wide receivers far side. In the slot is Colin Juneman. That's one to watch. Wide receiver near side, Emmett Juneman. And then the quarterback is Jacob Juneman. Looking for a quarterback draw, just reading it all the way. He'll pull off left side. He's got the 1st down and more. Still on his feet across the 10. Up near the 5-yard line. He's knocked it out of bounds. It's a gain of 25, 26, maybe 27 yards on the carry up near inside the 5-yard line. And it will bring up a 1st and goal here for the Wildcats at the 4-yard line.
1st and goal from about the 4.
1st down and goal from the 4 here for the Wildcats. And Lancers are looking at worst case scenario here on the road, fall behind 2 scores early on without having a whole lot to show for it on the offensive end of the floor. Juneman under center. 1 man behind him, he'll hand it to him. Not much there. Good tackle there on the handoff for number 25, Tyler Bonzer. Bonzer does have some carries, 40 carries, 337 yards, and 10 touchdowns as well. Short yardage, big guy in there, only gets a yard.
2nd down.
And it'll bring up a 2nd down and goal now. Ball right at that 3-yard mark. Jacob Juneman under center. Just going to quarterback keep it, run right through the heart of the Lancer defense. Touchdown. Wildcats, 6:30 to play here in this first quarter, 14-0 with a 2-point conversion forthcoming. An attempt for a 2-point conversion.
Hanover, back 6 more on. 14. Crest, 0. 2-point conversion. Pending.
So on the 2-point conversion, they got the last one. See what they draw up here. 2 running backs behind Juneman. Bonds to the fullback. Colin Juneman gets it, toss sweep right side, and pretty easy in there for them. Good push on that right side for Hanover, and Lancer's going to have to figure out what to do with that. 6:30 to play in this first quarter, and it's a 16-0 game here with 6:30 to play. This broadcast brought to you by Goppert State Service Bank. Goppert Service Bank is a proud supporter of Crest USD 479, and want to congratulate the Lancers on all their hard work and success. GSSB Colony Branch teams with 8 other branches and locations in Garnett, Girard, Hepler, Ottawa, Pomona, St. Paul, and Walnut to proudly serve all your banking needs. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Go Crest Lancers. I had a bank account at a Goppert State Bank. I started at the Farmers Bank in Hepler when I was like 10 years old. And I have an account there. In fact, they're the financial support behind Varsity Sports Live. So appreciate those guys for all their help and helping us get this off the ground. And certainly appreciate Trina and all her people that have helped, Rick Horn and ECAN Crude, as well as the Crest Lancer Booster Club for helping bring us up here to Hanover. And excited to be still broadcasting some high school football here mid-November. Colin Juneman's a kicker. Lancers need a big play. They need some kind of shot in the arm right here, if they can get it. Juneman will kick it. This one's going to be returnable if they want it. Middle return. Trying to go to that far side and not much doing. Ran it and got up to about the 11-yard line on the return by Caleb Nolan. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Lancers at about the 12-yard line. That 11-yard return there for Nolan. So they'll start at their own 12. Here is 6:22 to play. Definitely need to make something happen offensively. I talked about how do you face the adversity, and certainly some challenges they've got in front of them with a very good Hanover football team. It's direct snap and a good run up off the left side. One of their best plays so far, across the 15. Up near the 16, maybe 17-yard line. We'll say the 16, a gain of 4 on the carry by Holden Barker. And they bring up a second down and 6. After the 4-yard pickup. So wide receiver near side, one to the far side. Coleman with Barker to his right. Sends McGee in motion. Nearly got Hanover to jump. Second down and 5. Quarterback keeper all the way. He's got a bit of a little room. Across the 20, up near the 25-yard line. The first down of the ball game for the Lancers. As Coleman is escorted out of bounds, but not before he gets across the 25 and a first down pickup on the run.
Enough yardage on the play to pick up a first down for Crest right at the 25-yard line.
And so a good pickup there and a first down and 10 now from the 25 for the Lancers. Wide receiver far side. Send him in motion, hand it to him, and not a bad run there for Nolan. He was that wide out that went in motion to the near side. Got to be sure with the ball. I don't know if you caught that on the video, but they little fumble there between the exchange, and those are some things maybe they got away with in the regular season. You get into playoffs, you got to be pretty sure about where you put the football, and that time got away with a little bobble. They did not on their second play from scrimmage. It was turned over in the game. The first one, only one. Then there's the ball loose on the floor. Boy, more accurate could I not be about ball security and just being a little lackadaisical with the football, and that's what happened right there. And a turnover back to Hanover, and what was a promising start to a drive ends with the second turnover of the ball game for Crest. Here with 4:53 to play in this first quarter, down by 2 scores. So Hanover will have it at the Crest 26. Inside 5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. And so far what I've seen from Hanover, Crest needs to probably assume that they're going to score more times than not. They just come at you with so many different things. 2 wide receivers, balanced set, nobody in the backfield with Juneman. Straight drop all the way, looking. Wants his man over the middle, caught at about the 10-yard line. Breaks, trying to break free, 1 tackle up to the 5. It's a 20-yard pitch and catch, 21-yard pitch and catch. All the way up for Dimmler, the recipient of that one, up to the 5-yard line off a.
Just inside the 5-yard line. Goal to gain.
So a 21-yard pickup on that place, and it will bring up a first and goal from the 5. Ball just on the other side of the 5-yard line. Juneman, turn, handoff, Colin Juneman off the right side, and a big hole over there and a touchdown. So 2 plays later, after another fumble, they punch it in from 5 yards out.
Colin Juneman up the right side.
And
6 more for Hanover.
22-0, 4:18 to play here in the first quarter.
Hanover 22, Crest 0. 2-point conversion pending.
The drive took just over 30 seconds. Pretty quick hitter. 2-point conversion here. Juneman, straight drop. Looking to pass from 3 yards away. Now scrambling. Now flushed. He'll keep it going. He finds his man. That's Colin Juneman. And
Juneman connection.
it's probably going to be an ineligible man downfield, I would suspect. Perhaps. We'll see.
Flag on the play.
On the 2-point conversion, maybe too many downfield. Nope, holding instead. Against Hanover, so this will back them up. So the 2-point conversion.
Wildcats back. Another shot at the 2-point conversion.
So this will back them up quite a ways, 10 yards from that 2-point conversion mark, and as a spot foul, so it's a little bit even further because of where it took place, and so they'll go for it again. So for the time being, score will remain 22-0 here with 4:18 to play in the first quarter. Colin Juneman's in the slot to the far side. He'll send Dimmler in motion to the outside as well. Straight drop for Jacob Juneman. Looking in the middle. He's got his man. It's Colin. Is he going to get there? Yes. Barely. Almost held him out. It was a good effort by the Lancers. Good effort there by Caleb Nolan, but just a little too much. Able to get to the goal line, and the 2-point conversion's good. 24-0, 4:18 to play. We're back at 30. You're watching Lancer football on Varsity Sports Live.
Hey, where are you going? Can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Well, not the way they wanted to start this one for the Lancers. Certainly here on the road, 4:18 to play, first quarter, 24-0. You knew you were going to be in a dogfight. You knew you were going to have a good team to play against, and they've so far proven that. Welcome to Hanover. You can't have your lights on if you're going to be parked around the field. It's pretty cool. We got here, I don't know, we rolled in about 3:50. And there's a line of cars all the way down the road waiting to get in, because what they do here is everybody parks around the field, park right up on it, on the big berm here, and they can sit in their cars and watch the games. It's a great setup. If I had the option, that's exactly what I would be doing tonight, is watching from a car, and just can't have your headlights on. There's no deer out here. No worry. There might be, actually, but you're not going to run into any. Wobbly kick here. Going to go out of bounds. Hopefully the Lancers can take advantage of that. Goes out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. That's where they'll start at the 20, I believe. No, back at the 15 perhaps. See where they mark this one down. Yeah, all the way up to 25 is where they'll pull this ball out as it goes out of bounds on the kick. So the best starting field position of the night for Crest. 4:18 to play in this opening quarter. They had a little bit of success, a couple of good runs on that last drive before they fumbled it away. I mentioned the ball security as it was happening because of some of the little bobbles, and they've already had one fumble on their first drive, and now trying to take care of the football. Don't give the short field. Make them earn it. Have yet to cross midfield yet. Have the Lancers. They did pick up their first down on that last drive. Coleman, turn, handoff. Good run straight ahead. That might be their best bet, is kind of that straight ahead running. that has been their most successful. Holden Barker's been the key to that. A gain of about 3. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
Beverly and Jacob Flip combined for the tackle for the Wildcats. The 2nd down and 7.
We got to get a video of that at some point. Not right now, but kids rolling down the hill in front of us. Coleman sent a man in motion from right to left. That's Setter. Turn, handoff, up the middle Barker, and this time he'll be bottled up. Nope, that's McGee, rather, on the carry. And it'll be no gain on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
3rd down.
3rd down and 7 for the Lancers. Trying to pick up another 1st down and just keep the drive alive and keep the pressure off a little bit. And the pressure, I mean the Hanover offense. They just keep coming at you. Wide receiver far side, one to the near side. Barker to the right of Coleman. Sends a man in motion. Handoff, trying to get close to that 1st down. Penalty flag comes out as well, and the carry by Noland is going to be shy of a 1st down. Penalty marker back in the vicinity of a hold, right at the line of scrimmage. And it will wait for the officials to tell us what transpired. It is a hold, and it is against the Lancers. Most likely they'll take this and back them up. It wasn't going to be a 1st down, but you don't decline it, give them 4th and short. They probably would have gone for it at this point. Instead, they'll back them up beyond inside the 20. This drive started at the 25, so they're trying to get back to that original line of scrimmage would be good here on 3rd down. It's 3rd down at the 17, maybe 17-yard lines where they have it officially. McGee split out to the far side. Near side, wide receiver is Tyson Hermrich. Barker to the right of Coleman. Send McGee in motion. Hand it to him. Going to pass. Looking. Throws it out. He's got his man, and he is hit. I don't believe he made the catch, no. The intended receiver was Barker. Not a bad play. They had ran Hermrich deep. I mean, he was on a deep post route all the way across the field, and if they had had time, he might have been able to get open, but not enough time to set up and throw that ball for McGee, and so it brings up 4th down in another punting situation. Here for the Lancers. Emmett Juneman back to return for Hanover. He's just going to keep it. Fake punt. It's going to be a tough one to overcome. Questionable decision there, perhaps. That deep inside your territory, but trying to make something happen is Coach McNulty, and instead it's going to give Hanover a very short field. I see the idea there. You're just trying to get a shot in the arm, trying to get some momentum going in your favor, and it'll be just a gain of about 6 yards, but not going to be nearly enough. And a turnover on downs. And with 2:55 to play in this 1st quarter, Hanover's going to have another short field. They have had short fields pretty much the whole entire time. This is not the shortest, but pretty good field position. 1st and 10 as they'll start at the 22-yard line. Juneman sends Colin Juneman in motion. He'll be straight drop with all the motion. Flips it out. He wants him on a wheel route. On the far side, makes the catch at around the 5-yard line. Knocked down at about the 2.
Nice pass out the flat.
About a 20-yard pitch and catch from Jacob Juneman to Colin Juneman. And it'll put him back at the goal line. Knocking on the door once again here in this 1st quarter. And bad to worse. Struggling right now, trying to keep him out of the end zone. Try to force a turnover, try to get some kind of negative play on Hanover's part. If you're Colony-Crest. Wide receiver far side, I formation with a fullback. Jacob Juneman under center. Turn, hand off to that fullback up the middle, and it's Bosner, and he'll have the first touchdown from 3 yards out. And the horns are up. What'd I say? Caden, I said honking horns would be a part of this. With all the cars around here, it would be impossible not to be.
Making it Hanover 30. Crest.
30-0, 2:28 to play. We're still in the 1st quarter of this one.
Pending.
Ball's at the 3 as they'll set it here for the 2-point conversion. Last time they had a holding penalty that backed them up. They still overcame it and were able to get just into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And now it's Jacob Juneman, toss sweep near side for Colin Juneman, and just student body left and too many bodies out there and pushing off the line of scrimmage. Another penalty flag, though. Perhaps we'll have holding and we'll have another redo on a 2-point conversion for the second straight time. And we'll see what the white hat says. Hanover's backing up in anticipation of a holding penalty. Face mask, actually, is what the penalty is going to be called against Hanover, so that'll be backed up even more. The only real miscues Hanover's had at all in this one's been on 2-point conversions. They overcame one. They'll have to do it again.
5-yard variety. The 2-point conversion.
That was just a 5-yard face mask. Okay. So they'll do it again from just a little bit further back, 5 yards further. So ball to be at the 8-yard line. 2 wide receivers far side, 2 to the near side. Different decision here. Jacob Juneman in the backfield by himself. Straight drop, looking to his right, lets it fly. He's got his man. Touchdown. Easy one for Demler. His second reception, and it will bring a 32-0 will be your score. Here with 2:28 to play in this opening quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Lancer football on Varsity Sports Live. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Ecan Crude, Goppard State Service Bank, and the Crest Booster Club. Special thanks to these sponsors and everyone who's watching Lancer football on Varsity Sports Live.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everybody going home.
Kickoff after the score by the Wildcats. Last one went out of bounds. This one's going to be a no-doubter by Colin Juneman. And the Lancers will start right there. They'll come out to the 15-yard line. That's where they'll mark this one to start. Special thanks to Ecan Crude. They want to wish the players and coaches best of luck. Obviously, off to not a great start, but special thanks to all that have helped their journey along the way, and good luck in all athletics from Ecan Crude. Coleman. And somebody jumped off sides as he was sending man in motion. It was kind of a long time as Nolan was in motion, but hard to get up there. I've been one of those big nasties before up front. You have your hands on there, and think about putting a big body on 3 or 4 fingers. I always like, you got about 5 seconds to call hike, or I'm going to fall out of this stance in a hurry. But that'll back them up 5. It'll bring up a first down and 15 now from the 10-yard line. Coleman in the backfield by himself. He'll send Nolan across the formation, basically what they were going to do on first on the before the penalty. Just trying to get going, and not much there. In a hurry was Emmett Juneman, and got on him in a hurry. 6'2", 180 junior, bursting through, and a loss of about 3 on the play.
Second down and long for the Lancers.
Second down at about 18. Send McGee in motion from right to left. He'll stop, now come around. Straight drop, pitch it out. Trying to get to the edge. And knocked it out of bounds before much gain. Escorted out of there by Jacob Clipp, but trying to get something to going on the pitch out for Barker and just couldn't get a whole lot going. Maybe a gain of a couple, maybe 2, maybe 1. And it'll bring up end up not getting much out around the 6-yard line. Maybe 7.
Another negative play makes it third down and longer.
Actually lost a little bit. Clock stop with a minute 47 to go here in this opening quarter. Coleman rolling, now looking, now flushed, and safety. They do give him the safety. Boy, they got on him in a hurry. Coleman trying to make something happen, wanted to let that develop. They really haven't had an opportunity to let things develop completely down the field to see if they could maybe make a big play. And instead, a safety, and they'll come back and do a safety kick. And so not only are they going to get a safety, but Hanover going to get another crack at this one, and so we will see how this transpires. Again, special thanks to the Crest Lancer Booster Club. Crest Booster Club is proud to support their Lancers and happy to be able to help sponsor tonight's broadcast. Good luck from the parents and supporters of the Crest Booster Club. Again, special thanks Goppert State Service Bank, Ecan Crude, Crest Lancer Booster Club for helping us be able to come up here and bring you this. Certainly not the way you wanted things to go here early on in this ball game, but what a turnover. Talked to Coach about that, and he mentioned the excitement in the community. That's always great. I mentioned that I'd been a part of a pretty successful team that was able to see what a small town, they get all fired up. I mean, Hanover is one of those. There's no doubt about it. When we get here before 4 o'clock and there's people lined up down the drive waiting for the gates to open up, that's small town football at its best, and that's what we're getting to see here. Two schools that undefeated, combined 18-0 between the two schools. They've had a tremendous amount of success. Obviously, Crest able to win the Three Rivers League, conference champions. Get a win last week as well to advance to the sectional round. So despite this not the start they wanted, certainly have had some success. Here's Emmett Juneman trying to break off some tackles, still breaking tackles, still on his feet, and trying to wiggle out of one, and going to be finally ripped out of bounds beyond the 15-yard line. Up near the 14 is where he'll go out. It's a good return. He tried to squib that one on the ground, and he was still able to get a hold of it and get a good return. Clock stopped the minute 31 to go here first quarter, and they're going to actually say went out right at the 15-yard line, and so that's where Hanover will have it.
On the nice return after the squib kick, takes it all the way up to the 15-yard line. It'll be first down and 10.
My left foot is nice and warm, Caden. My right foot is starting to get cold because I may have to turn around and call this game backwards so I can warm up this other leg.
I don't have a glove on my right hand, but
I'm not complaining.
I got a glove on my other one. It's hard to move these hands, man.
Jacob Juneman, option near side. He'll pitch it last minute, and ball comes out, and they're lucky, Hanover is, that it wasn't scooped up in coverage, kind of there to gobble him up. Andrew McAdam gets there to almost a hair earlier to jump on top of it. It ends up being a gain of 2 on the play. They're going to be second down and 8 now for Hanover. It's probably one of their shortest plays they've had so far as we approach the 1-minute mark here of the first quarter. Second down and 8 for the Wildcats. Option, nope. End around, Jacob Juneman. Huge hole. That's a Colin Juneman, rather, and he goes across the 5 up near the 4-yard line. It's going to be just enough for a first down. A gain of about 8, maybe 9 yards on the carry. And it'll be first and goal at the 4-yard line for the Wildcats.
First down from about the 4-yard line. Hermrick on a stop for the Lancers.
Tackle there. PA announcing Tyson Hermrick on the tackle. Just inside the 5-yard line, first down and goal for Hanover. Bunch set to the right side, toss it out there, trying to catch the edge, and he will go into the end zone. Touchdown on the carry for the Wildcats, number 25, Tyler Bonzer, his second. Well, he had a 2-point conversion a moment ago, and now he ends up with his first touchdown of the ball game, and it makes it 40-0 here. 9.3 seconds to play. That's a pretty good first quarter for Hanover. Winner of this one moves on to play the winner of Lebo and Frankfurt. That's a big matchup there between a 6-1 Frankfurt team, a 10-0 Lebo team. And Frankfort not far from here. Talking to some of the local radio guys, they said that would be a really big matchup. But Frankfort, they're not sure can overcome Lebo. Still a little ways to go. 2-point conversion. Fake the toss. Now look. We call that wide cross. Counteraction to the backfield and run a guy across the backside of the end zone. And Emmett Juneman was the guy who got there. Makes the 2-point conversion good. 42-0, 9.3 to play in this first half. We'll keep it here. Across our network, only one other team in action tonight, as everybody else's season's ended a week ago, or 2 weeks ago in some cases. It's one of the premier matchups in 11-man football in Kansas is Tonganoxie hosting Bishop Miege. Bishop Miege, I think, up to 6 straight state titles in Class 4A. Somebody said they haven't lost to a 4A team in 17 years or something crazy like that. So, I mean, that's the kids playing on the team that weren't alive. You know, some of them, whenever the last time they lost to a 4A team, I don't know if that's accurate, but it sounds really good if it is. But the Tongi would be the first 4A team to beat them in a long time if they can get that win. And so if you're interested in a good premier matchup, and when this thing's over, since we started an hour earlier, certainly we'll still be going. Go check that out at TonganoxieSportsLive.com. It's just like this one, Varsity Sports Live, only it's at TonganoxieSportsLive.com, or just go YouTube.com/TonganoxieSportsLive. And you can watch that game with John Roush Cole, Dylan Funk, and Bryce Kessler over on our other channel. So Colin Juneman to kick it away here for the Wildcats. End over end kick may be returnable, and it is. Nearly caught, now mishandled and fallen down in frustration. And the official, I don't blame the official there for letting that one go. Caleb Nolan, a little frustration after the fact, and he earned a swat at the ball on the ground. That's completely understandable. Not the way he wanted. Lost his footing out there on the return, and it's going to be backed against their own goal line here with 4.4 to play in this first quarter. Oh, they did give him. I didn't even see him pull a flag out of his pocket. I thought he was going to let him off on it. You know what? You're so close to the goal line. Get that frustration out. What's half the difference? What's the difference between a 2 and a 1 yard line, right? Just do it. If you're going to make a penalty, do it there. This is how close this guy's getting. He's trying to walk it off with his foot. Back him up just a little further.
I've seen them put cards like they have like an index card, like a folded piece of paper. They put it on.
No, that was for a first down. I saw that one time.
That's the first down.
Yeah.
But it gets to become so close to where.
Well,
not even.
That's you know what they need? They need that guy to turn their headlights on back there. Try to
I didn't see it better.
Try to bind the defense. 3 wide receivers to the near side, all bunched up here near the sideline. Just try to get out of there. Don't give another safety. He is going to get down just barely outside the goal line, and that's the end of the first quarter. Well, not the way y'all watching wanted it to go, but it is what it is. 42-0 here after 1. We're back in 1 minute. You're watching Lancer Football on Varsity Sports Live. Brought to you by the Crest Lancer Booster Club, Ecan Crude, and Gobbert State Service Bank.
42.
How do you see the world?
At Shriners Hospitals for Children, we know that changing how you see things can turn them into everyday miracles.
Like riding my bike.
Breaking boards. Hugging my mom.
Every day for over 90 years, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been sending love to the rescue, regardless of a family's ability to pay.
If you know a child we can help, call or go online now.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Second down and 10 from about the 1 yard line, or officially, I guess, the 1 yard line. It's more like the 1 foot line, but they'll run it off the right side, a gain of about a yard. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 9, deep inside their own territory. Again, it started on the return where they lost his footing. Caleb Nolan lost his footing, kind of fell down, and once your knee touches in high school, you're down.
Yeah, it's college rules. That's how they are. But
it'll be a 3rd down, just trying to overcome something. Don't put yourself, trying to give yourself maybe a little bit more breathing room if you are Crest. Rolling, lets it fly. Coleman's first pass, just outside the outstretched hands of his intended receiver, Tyson Hermrick. I do think if they can get some time in the backfield to pass the football, they might have some opportunities there. Or if you can stretch one deep and get somebody underneath, maybe you can get a play to get some yardage. But now you're looking at a punting situation here. They've faked one on a kind of a rugby style is the style of kick anyways, and he has the option then to fake it. We'll see what they do. They have a guy back deep to receive. They will just kick it on a Wildcat. Good punt. Back deep. Emmett Juneman plenty of time, though. Big hit. And Juneman breaking out of one tackle. They're going to give a blindside hit. It's going to be a penalty. This is all coming back most likely. There was a big hit, but they've kind of tried to take that out. 20 years ago, that was a big-time hit, and you'd have got credit for it. But nowadays, they don't really let you do that on a blind side. And Colin Juneman laid out somebody. Luckily, nobody got hurt, but it'll all come back from where that took place. Might be 2 different penalties. We'll see. But it was a return for a touchdown, but it will come back. So there was 2 penalties. I thought they were do a blindside. I think it just said block in the back. I don't know if that was a block in the back, but either way, it's a good thing for Crest. And it will be their worst starting field position of the night as they'll start at their own 35-yard line. I think maybe the first time they've started inside their own territory. And it will be 1st and 10 from the 35. Colin Juneman will go in motion to the left side. They'll fake a toss near, now looking, rolling. Jacob Juneman, penalty flag, comes down probably in a holding situation all the way back inside the 30. Ball came loose also at the end, but they do fall on top of it. Does Emmett Juneman falls on top of it. It's a holding penalty against Hanover, so this is going to back them up quite a ways. And already, I mean, if you were Crest, what you do on that sideline at that first quarter, you said, hey, we got to just shake this like an Etch-a-Sketch and start over fresh like it never happened. And so far here, the early going of this second quarter is much better than we saw in the first quarter. You know, obviously, penalties have helped, taking a kick return off for a touchdown, and now a holding penalty is going to back them up way deep. And really, we'll see for the first time tonight, try to see this Hanover team perhaps their offense. They haven't really had to work for it too much. They've had such short fields and able to big plays but short plays. And Crest hopefully can make a stop here in the first one of the ball game. 1st down and a mile. Toss sweep near side. Big hole near trying for Bonsner. And have a good run, but not great up near the 25-yard line. Bonser up to the 25, a gain of about 5. It'll bring up a 2nd down and about 20. Just shy of 20. They need to get all the way up to the 35-yard line. 10:50 to play, first half, 42-0. You see there on the screen. Two wide receivers near side. The slot is Colin Juneman. Bonds are just to the right of Jacob Juneman. He'll motion him out of the backfield. Straight drop, plenty of time. Still plenty of time. He's going to let one heave way up in the air. This is a jump ball. Got to go get it. And, boy, it went through four guys were there, and I'm not sure if anybody even touched that ball as he was trying to. The only guy who had a real good chance at it was Dimmler, and it falls shy. And 3rd down. I'm almost confident this is their first 3rd down of the ball game. And it'll be 3rd down and 20. Got to get off the field here if you are Crest. What did I tell you the other day? I think we were talking. some of those. What's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Right.
Best way to get out of a hole? Stop digging. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Just imparting some wisdom to you. 3rd down and 20. Toss far side for Colin Juneman trying to pick his way. There's a burst and going to be brought down. Ball came loose. I think the ground kind of caused that. It's a good gain of about 13 yards on 3rd and 20, so they got a big portion of it. You had to be thinking they were thinking this was 2-down territory. Really gained about 15 as they get it. Has a very charitable spot all the way up to the 40-yard line. That's midfield. I've yet to say the 50. And it will be a 4th and 5. So a good play for them on 3rd down. Probably they had it in the back of their head they would go for it on 4th if they were able to get much, and they got more than much. And it will bring up a 4th down and 5. Ball's got to get, if it gets to the 35, it's easily a 1st down. And timeout going to be called by Hanover. First 4th down of the ball game for the Wildcats. They want to talk it over. We will too. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Lancer football on Varsity Sports Live.
Boo! Hey, where you going? Can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Fourth down and 5 for Hanover. They call a timeout to discuss it. Lancers trying to get their first stop of the ball game of the Wildcats. And we'll see if they can make that stop here in this second quarter. The first quarter certainly did not go their way. They fumbled on the second play from scrimmage. 2 plays later, it went in for Hanover, and it's kind of been that way since the beginning. But now an opportunity to get some momentum perhaps back in their favor for the Lancers. Straight drop. Now roll near side. Trying to get outside. He got a player there. Can they get him down? They do. And a stop there by the Lancers. Good play for Crest by Stratton McGee to get Juneman on the ground, and a turnover on downs. The first stop of the ball game for the Lancers. And now you've got to bounce back offensively. They have not been able to do much on the offensive end. They've got the defense working in their favor. Certainly some penalties. Remember that drive started with a kickoff return for a touchdown. It was called back on a penalty. Then they had a holding penalty as well.
Vehicle in the north end zone, please shut your lights on.
Wow.
Any other vehicles, please do not turn
You
your lights
got,
on.
you got kids rolling.
Yeah, get all these kids down here.
I mean,
this is the greatest thing. My daughter would do this.
Football. Who would?
My daughter would do this
awesome.
all day, every day. And she's about the size of that one in pink right there. Hey, how about we do some football, Caden? McGee on the right side, a run, not much there, maybe up to the line of scrimmage, gain of 0 on the play to bring up a 2nd down and 10, maybe 11, maybe even lost a half yard on the play.
2nd down.
9:33 to play and counting in this first half, 42-0 your score. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 11. Just their best luck has been between the tackles. That's where they've been able to get a little bit of yardage up the middle on some dive plays by Nolan. McGee up the middle. Coleman with a running back to his right and one behind him. Turn, handoff McGee between the tackles. This time not there. I've got a yard. Tackle made by Clip for the Wildcats to bring up a 3rd down.
3rd down. Jacob Clip on the stop.
Well, the good news is in that first quarter they were averaging about a touchdown every 2 minutes. And they have been able to go beyond that here in this second quarter without giving one up, which is certainly glass half full way of looking at things. Wide receiver near side is Hermreck. Coleman calls for it. Fake the pass. Now looking. Had a little bit of guy. Had him out there, and he makes the catch. What a good play there. Biggest play of the ball game so far for the Lancers for Kobe Miller. Miller making a good catch. It was good action to the near side on a fake, little play action. And then Miller, a little post route just in front of the defender. And a good ball thrown by Coleman to get it out high. And Miller, a big, tall, lanky body inside the 30-yard line up to the 29. That's where they'll have it first down and 10. I think it's just their second first down of the ball game, but best opportunity so far. Hermrick to the wide side of the field to our near side. Coleman turn, handoff, straight dive, good gain on first down for them. On the carry by Barker. It's a gain of about 2. I thought it was a little bit more than that, but it ends up being a gain of 2 to bring up a second down and 8.
Second down.
Second down and 8 for the Lancers. This time Hermrick will be split to the tight side on that right side. Send McGee in motion. Give it to it. Now give it back around. Good play, Barker. Got a little head of steam. Turns the corner, and he's up inside the 25-yard line, up near the 21. And a good gain of about 8 yards there on the carry. Maybe 6 yards on the carry. Bring up a third down and a long 2, short 3. And just shy of the 20, up near the 21-yard line. And definitely 2-down territory, so you want to get it all here, but you don't necessarily have to. That was the best running play of the ball game they've had so far. On a double reverse. Handoff inside, trap, good, and a first down. Back-to-back first downs on the carry by McGee as he gets across the 20-yard line up near the 17, maybe 16-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play to bring up a first down and 10 for the Lancers. And get a little bit of that crowd as finally Crest fans have made that long trip up here a little bit to cheer for on that far sideline. Glad they made the trip. I'm glad y'all are watching. Got good viewership so far. I know there's perhaps some watering holes in the area. Have us on as well. We appreciate that. Turn, handoff. Keeper by Coleman, and you know their game plan coming in. That's a tackle made by Clip. Their number one game plan was probably stop Jaquez Coleman and don't let him get going and make those other guys beat you. And that's pretty common for game plans, is to focus on somebody. And so far they've kept him under wraps a little bit. Some of those other guys starting to come alive perhaps here in the second quarter. 6:22 to play, the longest drive by far, most successful drive by far for the Crest offense, following up their best defensive stand as well when they turn them over on downs. Coleman, he'll send McGee in motion from right to left. Now he'll send him back. Rolling, looking to pass. Now kick it to McGee last minute. Cuts up and be lucky to get back to line of scrimmage, maybe up to the 15. We'll see where they mark this one. Maybe a yard on the play to bring up a third down and about 8.
Third down.
I think that was a RPO. I think they wanted to pass, have an option for passing. It wasn't there, and just kick it out to his safety valve, who was McGee, and it brings up a third down and 8 here at the 15. Again, same story as a moment ago where you don't necessarily have to get the first down here. You can get a portion of it and give yourself a fourth and manageable. Hermrick to the wide side. Barker in the slot, empty backfield. Coleman will send Barker across the formation. Fake it to him, roll, reverse, lets it fly. He's got his man, he throws it low, not going to be caught. And it falls incomplete to bring up a fourth down and 8. Pass intended for the Lancers for Ethan Goddard. Goddard falls it just in front of him, and it'll bring up a fourth down and 8. Boy, you'd hate to squander this opportunity. Their best chance to score the ball game so far. And he'll send a man in motion. Rolling. Coleman under duress. Lets it fly. And it is going to be incomplete. Coleman's just been running for his life, and this one falls incomplete, a turnover on downs. So obviously their best little sequence of time, the best 5 minutes of the night so far for the Lancers, but it's going to come up short and a turnover on downs. So go back on defense. And, I talked about the last time, their first chance, their first time making Hanover have to drive the field. Every other drive was inside their 30. And the first time they make them actually have to drive it, they turn them over on downs. And so this will be a chance all the way at the 15-yard line is where this one will start for the Wildcats. And we'll see if they can force them to turn it over on downs once again, or maybe even force a punt. First down and 10. Colin Juneman by himself out here to the near side. McGee kind of on an island over here as well. We'll see if help comes from that safety. It does, but it's probably going to be late, and they're just going to let it fly. They want him, and Colin Juneman goes up, makes the catch. My goodness. I would say don't even start with that safety that far over. Just make him be here and just let him know it's double coverage the whole way. But that was Coleman was at safety, and he started that way immediately from the snap. But I'm saying cut out the middleman, just put him over there and double coverage that guy. He was over here by himself. He had to make a heck of a catch. It was thrown behind him, but he does go down and get it. You can tell those guys have probably thrown the football to one another a few times. And it so much for having it at the 15-yard line all the way down to the 25. Inside Lancer territory. Lancer's trying to avoid giving up half 100 here in this first half. Turn, handoff. Good play there in the backfield. He brings him down. Nice tackle for the Lancers. Tackle made by number 34, Andrew McAdam, as he gets a hold of him, and one of the first negative plays of the game for Hanover, as it'll bring up a second down and long 11, maybe 12. All the way back beyond the 25 at the 26-yard line. Good play by McAdam. Emmett Juneman, the wide out to the near side. Bonsner and Juneman, toss sweep to Colin. He'll spin off one would-be tackle and brought down by a host, including McAdam once again in there. Making contact, though, early on. Good tackle for the Lancers by Stetson Setter. And they'll bring up a third down and 1. It's a gain of about 10, maybe 11 on the play. Yeah, gain of 11. And third and short. Just shy of the 15-yard line. Inside 4 minutes to play here in the first half. All 42 of those points were scored in the first quarter. And as far as you're concerned, it still is the first quarter. Caden, you had one job.
My bad.
It's the second quarter.
Didn't remind me.
You're supposed to remind me. 3 wide receivers near side, one to the far side. Empty backfield for Juneman. Throw it up. Oh, McGee's there, but he can't make the play, and Emmett Juneman does. That was very good coverage by McGee. Good body control by Emmett Juneman to get his body back to make that catch. I mean, don't take anything away from McGee. He was right where he needed to be, but just a good play and 2-point conversion forthcoming. Quite a catch. They've had 2 catches. The initial play was a really good catch by Colin Juneman, and then Emmett Juneman makes that touchdown catch against good coverage by McGee. It'll bring up a 2-point conversion here. 3:19 to play in the first half. He'll send a man out of the backfield, so empty backfield here for Jacob Juneman. Looking, throws it across, and it's broken up. First stop of the ball game on a 2-point conversion. And we'll take a quick break. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Lancer football on Varsity Sports Live.
Hey, I'm Mike Rowe, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
$48-0, 3:19. $3:19 to play here in this first half. They do have a mercy rule here in 8-man. Still trying to deduce how that goes down, but we're not going to even talk about that yet. We'll wait and see what happens. We'll be here until they say it's time to leave. I'll tell you that. Emmett Juneman to kick it away for the Wildcats. And they stopped play prior to that. Like somebody offsides perhaps. And it will re-kick it here with 3:19 to play in the first half. Again, special thanks to the Crest Lancer Booster Club, Goppert State Service Bank, and ECAN Crude for helping out to be able to bring this, 6 o'clock kick, long way from home as well. And we were happy to be able to come up and get this experience, come over and bring this to you. Obviously, again, not the way we expected it or hoped it would go, but certainly been appreciative of the support. And so they'll re-tee it, kick it away. This one's going to go out of bounds, so they'll bring it back out.
Kick goes out of bounds, and flag on the play.
So they will start it at the 30-yard line. It's a good field position to start this drive. Again, the last drive they've had plenty of success. Some of their best plays of the game for sure came on that last drive offensively. See if they can bottle up some of that momentum and try to keep it going here in this one. It would be very tough psychologically to keep focused. They've had so much success this season and undefeated and done this to teams all year. To come have it being done to you is not ideal. And they keep playing, though, and working hard are the Lancers after a good gain, or a gain of 1, rather, on the carry by Nolan. And they'll bring up a second down and about 9 for the Lancers. Falls loose. Going to have to try to fall in. They can't. That thing was like it. Poor Coleman just trying to reach and grab that one. You ever fought in a dream where you were trying to punch, you can't punch as hard as you want? You got to believe that's what Coleman was feeling right there as he was trying to lean forward, lunge and get that one in. The ball just wouldn't quite get to where he wanted him to be. Just out of his reach, and they jump on top of it trying to get it, can't. And another turnover, the third fumble of the ball game for the Lancers. Third time recovered by Hanover, and they'll have a short field once again here with 2:39 to go in this first half. Jacob Juneman under center. Turn, handoff Bonser. And Bonser will gain about 3 yards, maybe bring up a second down and 7.
Putting on, a gain of 3 on the play, will be second down, 7 to go.
Second down and about 7 here for the Wildcats. It's my first time up in this particular part of the state. Beautiful. As always, I love driving through the Flint Hills and get to go through the Little Apple to get here. We'll go back through it. You want me to stop at Vista Burger? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
You mentioned on the way by it. I just assumed you were trying to plant the seed for me to stop there on the way back. I might get hungry before that, though, kid.
I was just there earlier.
Juneman?
This year.
Oh, well, then you don't need to go again. Here, hand up
That
up the
was
middle.
last year.
Picking his way through. Bonser, and Bonser a big carry, his biggest carry of the ball game. Bonser, 5'9", 190 junior. Senior, rather. And a big gainer here, knocking on the door. And the last thing you wanted to do here late in this first half after having a pretty good second quarter, only giving up 1 touchdown in that entire second quarter after giving up a bunch in the first, to come up and give up a late touchdown here after the turnover. But they are on the cusp of it here, 1st and goal with a 5. Jacob Juneman under center. Bonds are behind him. Hand it to him. Fullback dive. Not much there. Good tackle by the big fella up front for the Lancers. Trevor Kennington. Kennington, one of the seniors on this. Coach talked about it in our pregame. If you heard Coach McNulty's interview in our pregame show about, this senior class was sophomores when they went 0-9. And 2 years later, they're going 10-0. They got a chance to taste what that was, and certainly had a much better experience this year. Certainly, this one probably not part of it, but the other 10 certainly were. Second down and goal from the 4 after about a 1, maybe 2 yard gain, maybe from the 3 yard line. Ball sits there at that 2-point line. They're going to let some time run down, 23 seconds and counting, and they're just going to take a knee to go into. This is pretty good sportsmanship here by Hanover. They could have easily punched one in right there, but instead they take a knee, and it will go to halftime or game over.
Said victory formation, so I would assume.
So that is it, yeah. So it is. I think it's 40 points at halftime. I thought they'd make them come out and play the second half, but I don't believe that's the case. Instead, that's going to be the ball game, and so not the way we wanted to do it, but it's certainly the way it's going to end here for the Lancers. Long drive up here for a short ball game, but we do appreciate it again. Special thanks to our friends at ECAN Crude, Goppert State Service Bank, and the Lancer Booster Club for allowing us to be a part of the team for a night and come up here and cover this game for the Lancers and all those folks who weren't able to make that trip. Again, I mentioned a few times during the broadcast, doesn't take anything away from the Lancer season, 10-0. This is a juggernaut. That's a darn good football team. I called some 3A games this year. Hanover could put 11 guys on the field and probably play with some of those 11-man teams pretty easily and win some conferences at that level with the guys they've got out there right now. There's some definite athletes out there, and they will go a long way. Again, they'll play the winner of Frankfort and Lebo next week. Hanover is no stranger to this time of the year in high school football, the Lancers, but behind Coach McNulty, hopefully they can continue to be involved and continue to get better and maybe make another trip up here in the near future with some kids. But a good turnaround already, a lot of success this season. Again, conference champions. They won a regional championship as well and fall short here in this sectional against the Hanover Wildcats in this one. Again, they'll play the winner, Hanover will, of Frankfort and Lebo. Congratulations, Hanover Wildcats. Tough luck for the Lancers. Again, one final time, special thanks to Goppert State Bank, Goppert State Service Bank, ECAN Crude, and the Crest Lancer Booster Club. For my partner here, a little drive back, Caden Carbajo, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Good, appreciate the support as well locally here. The school district's been awesome to work with as we set everything up to come up here, and it's going to do it for us. Final score, 48-0. Hanover beats the Crest Lancers. You watched it all right here on Varsity Sports Live. This is Colony-Crest Lancer football on Varsity Sports Live. Lancer football is brought to you by ECAN Crude, Goppert State Service Bank, and the Crest Lancer Booster Club. It's time for Lancer football on Varsity Sports Live.